Is the church responsible for the colorism hierarchy? Go deeper.
It certainly is the justification used in enslaving the black man.
Really?
Absolutely. The curse of Cain. Noah cursed Ham, saying that you will be cursed and serve your brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they use the descendants of Ham. Let's just go deeper into that. What does the word Ham actually mean? You're a reverend. I expect you to know. Go deeper.
It means dark skin.
Yeah?
It does.
Yeah? Burnt black.
Burnt black.
Kemet, right? Kemetic.
Means burnt black.
That's
What about Shem and Japheth?
Oh, yeah, that's the other pimp game they throw on us.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have a Jew here right now who can walk us through the machinations of the
Shem.
Torah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth are the triplet sons of Noah.
Yeah.
Right? There's a new movie coming out starring Russell Crowe. This is Noah. As Noah. Now, what? I just don't understand. When we do the archaeological research, the sociological research, the anthropological research, when we go all the way back, they know those people back there were.
So have you seen the billboard?
Black.
Have you seen the
Dark
billboard?
complexion.
Yeah.
On the billboard, it don't look like Russell Crowe. It looked like O'Kelly Isley, the big bass, the big brother that played for the Isley brother played bass. I'm like, man, the Isley brothers got a movie out. They don't even look like Russell Crowe at all. Have you seen it? Find it. Can y'all find Noah? Good Noah Russell Crowe billboard and see don't that look like? Oh, shout out to the Isley brothers. See don't that look like one of the Isley brothers?
How does the African American community come together by breaking the chains of psychological slavery? I believe that the Willie Lynch letter that pit light against dark, man against woman, child against adult, just the whole polar opposite fighting.
See, that's O'Kelly Isley right there.
Wow.
Fight the power.
Right? How do we as a collective say, we're not going to take your standard of who you think we are, your definition of who you think we are. We're not going to take it anymore in any way, shape, or fashion. How do we as a culture come together and find the collective testicular fortitude to be able to rewrite some of the negative things about us? Everybody gets the answer. Jeff Brown, go.
We don't. As a we don't. I'm of the belief of the cats out of New York. I don't know what they are now, but back in the day, the 5% Nation, who their basic theory was that only 5% of black people will ever come into the true knowledge of self. And what you have to do is collect yourself and find yourself and be with that 5%, and woe be unto the other 95. You can't even trip on them. It's people, you are not going to, in my generation, maybe my great-great-great-great-grandsons will be done with this, but they won't be with me waiting on everybody black to get this shit. The way it has to go down is I have to find cats like you, cats like Uncle Bobby, and get with them and synergize there. Not go, I'm not going, we were talking about this a couple of days ago. I am not going to waste my time trying to save somebody who does not want to be saved.
It's kind of like what I say. People ask me, well, how do we correct the future? My answer to that is simple. I say, I don't talk to adults. I don't try to teach adults.
Yeah.
I'm going right to the kids.
Yeah.
I'm talking to children. Because when we get to the kids, that's when we can change it. Before we go to break, I want to get Dr. Goulston's take on it.
I think sometimes the way you change the world is one conversation at a time. And I think whenever you're dealing with someone who doesn't see eye to eye with you, I think a good thing to say is talk about the elephant in the room, but instead of attacking it or getting into a debate, say it is clear that we look at this thing differently. So if I'm a light-skinned black versus a dark-skinned black, I can see that we see this thing differently. Tell me how you came to believe what you believe. And I think there's something about drawing the person out where they can then maybe catch up with themselves. Right. Well, so-and-so told me this. Well, how is that working for you that you come to that kind of conclusion?
That is the knowledge of religion.
Yes.
But what you want to do is you want to draw them out into how they form that conclusion. Because if you're debating like this, there's too much underneath the surface.
Yes.
And there's too much, you're just not going to come together. But draw them out.
That goes back to the point I made last week, because I did your Dr. G's toolbox, right? I did my own little tips. And one of them, the tip was, don't date your unchallenged ideas. So when you say, how did you come to believe that? Just the inquiry of that will challenge your belief. Just to say, where did that come from? How did I learn that? Was that born out of hurt? Was that born out of pain? What was that born from?
There's a tip I give in the Just Listen book called Conversation Deepeners. So when you're getting information from someone, even if they ask you a question, don't answer their question. Think of something they said that had an emotional charge on it, and when they say that, say to them, say more about that awful thing. And what you'll see is when you talk to people and get them to open up that way, you'll see that the hands go from their side to when they get emotionally charged, and you say more about that, they'll say, well, it's kind of like this. Mm-hmm. And then after they say that, pick another emotionally charged word and say with interest, really? And you'll see their hands going up, oh yeah, this is terrible. Mm-hmm. But what's happening is as their hands go from their sides up like this, they are opening up into the conversation.
Expressing, yes.
And so when they open into the conversation, there is a potential for fluidity as long as you don't get into a debate with them and then try to jam it down their throat. So when they're up like this, you got a chance to say, to engage them and get them to sort of disconnect some of their conclusions.
Bobby, how do we fix it?
We have to take a number of sequential steps. First is to control the narrative. And by that I mean...
Ooh, yes.
We're in a position now where we understand these new platforms, such as this one here. And you're doing your part right now by bringing people into this studio that have a body of work, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of purpose. And we move the camera away from people who are destructive in their presentation of who we are. And pass the microphone to some folks that have actually done the types of things that make a difference that we can pass on in terms of images to the young people that you're talking about, because the narrative is important.
Wow, we're coming back. We got to take another break. The So What Morning Show is getting crazy. We got more guests. It's about to get even crazier. Check this video out on the way out. It's going to be nuts.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you.
Even though I'm dark-skinned, like, I'm not black. I'm Dominican and Cape Verdean, and black people get on my damn nerves. I'm not even joking because, you know what, they're mad ignorant. Like, that's very true. They are very ignorant people. Like, they do not care about nothing but themselves. They're selfish, they're ignorant, and I would never date a black boy. I would never have a black girlfriend because they got that bad hair. Both of them. And, you know, it's not me just being, this is not me being racist. This is me being real. Because, I mean, we have him right there and then him right there. He's on a Toshiba when my little white homeboy is going to be on the Mac trying to make a song with me, trying to get me rich, you know? Like, not trying to be about something that's corny in the library at school. And I didn't mean to rash on them personally, but I'm just saying, I'm just pointing something out.
No hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings at all. I mean, yes to Irving, because that nigga is the definition of a
piece of shit.
Yeah. But anyways, I like black people, but I don't really have that many black friends. I don't really like to make black friends. They're not anybody that I look to be my friend. Right. I don't really know what else to say, but yeah, I don't get along with black girls that much. Like, unless
do you see how important it is?
Wow.
To interface with the children? See, we got to talk about Jim Crow. We got to talk about slavery. We got to talk about all of this. This is why it's important when down in Texas, where they create all the textbooks, they want to change the terminology as it pertains to our history. You got to understand, black people history is longer and more intense and rich
Than even
just
language.
slavery. We got to go back further so kids like that can connect to their core. You understand? So they can connect to their core meaning. We don't have social game rules. We got new people in the building right now. Let me just go really quickly. I just met this brother on Saturday. I had to put my hoop game up on him. I was at 22%.
Come on now.
And we had to beat him at 22%. But he understood. He was fouling all game long. But he funny than a mug. He's a comedian. His name is Derek Sleazy Evans.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, man, he's a cold piece of work. Hey, man, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
He comes highly touted. He comes via some family, I like to call it, because, you know, Marcus King represents this young talent right here. Marcus King is my homie. Gave me my shot at the foxhole.
Shout out to King.
You know, he's a good dude.
Good
Billy Sorrell is in the building.
What's
Comedian
happening? What's
extraordinaire.
We here. I don't think y'all ready for this. The knob is broke, so they're not gonna be able to turn this back down once this get turned up. Just let y'all know that right now that's listening at home in your car. Our knobs is broke, so they're not gonna be able to fix this once this gets started. So just be prepared. It's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you, can I tell them what's about to happen?
Just tell him, man.
Look, man, the bottom line is we about to get right into this light skin, dark skin thing. I got some stuff I want to say. I mean, my homie got some stuff he want to say.
Check.
Jeff got some stuff he want to say. Bobby got something he want to say. My man right here got stuff he want to say. It's on.
Wow. So it's about to be nuts. It's just going to go crazy. My question is, how do we heal the community? How do we correct this rift? I've been told, and Doc, you can help me with this, that the social programming is like software on a computer. It can be deleted. It can be rewritten. It can be modified. How do we delete the inferior software that's running on black minds, that makes us feel like we got to bleach our skin, that makes us feel like we got to chop 3/4 of our nose off? How do we change that narrative, Doc?
Let me throw something out there before I just give it up to all of you, because it's you know, I've been thinking about this light skin thing. I was thinking about what Bill Duke said about black people, you know, using all this bling and the fancy cars. Maybe the message, and again, I'm surrounded here, is
That's right. We'll
Yeah,
fuck you
so
up.
watch what you say.
We will kick your ass.
maybe that message is, don't look at me, look at this. And I don't want you to look at me. And I know there are times when I don't want you to look at me. The times when I don't want you to look at me are times when I don't want you to see that I'm afraid, that I don't trust you, and that I'm angry at you. Because I'm afraid if you see those things, you'll take advantage of the fear.
Wow.
If you see the anger, you're going to get angry. And if you see the distrust, you're going to think I'm paranoid. So maybe what we do is we try to distract people. Don't look at me. Look at this. Look at the bling. Look at the tattoo. Look at the such and such. And back to your answer, I think the key is, I think one of the reasons I don't want you to look at me is because instead of developing something to truly be proud of, I have things to be prideful about. And prideful is not good. Being proud is great.
Man, he always that's his point.
All right, Jeff and then Bobby.
Does that make any sense?
I'm sorry, May. You know what? You bring it, and I thought I was gonna have to warn you that, you know, it's black people in here, but there's some niggas interspersed among us, and I'm not quite sure who's who. Oh, well,
I'm one of them.
Yeah, see, I talked some sense to Uncle Bobby, and I was talking to his brother. Yeah, these two niggas here is crazy, so you have to watch. I don't rationalize with niggas. I just get out the way. Yeah, niggas is different. Niggas is different. I think it's a red pill, blue pill situation, as in the Matrix. You're not going to save the whole Matrix.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to unplug those who are willing to be unplugged and let that number grow. There is no way, there is no magic pill, there is nothing, especially with the media being in charge of what these young kids listen to. There's no, I can't combat that. I got to find a cat that really, really sees a crack in the Matrix and go, you know what? Something about this is bullshit. That's your dude. You ain't gonna fix the that girl right there that we just shown. She won't get it unless, unfortunately, she's kidnapped by the Klan.
No.
And needs some niggas to come get her.
Until she's condescended at the job site or
Yeah.
at school, at
Yeah.
college.